One night, Damien invited her to dinner. Not a request, an order disguised as charm. The restaurant was the kind Maya had only seen in magazines. Crystal chandeliers, silk tablecloths, waiters who treated him like royalty. Maya sat across from him, fidgeting. "I don't belong here." "Yes, you do." His voice was firm, leaving no room for doubt. "You just haven't seen it yet." Her eyes flicked up to his. "Why me, Damien? You could have anyone. Any woman. Why me?" For a moment, his perfect composure faltered. His jaw clenched, his eyes shadowed. "Because years ago, when I had nothing, you looked at me. You saw me. And you don't even remember." Maya's breath caught. "What are you talking about?" But Damien only leaned closer, his voice a whisper. "You will." After dinner, he walked her outside. The night air was cool, the city alive with lights and sounds. He turned to her, his hand brushing against hers, the contact electric. "Say yes," he murmured. Maya shook her head. "I can't. I don't even know who you really are." His lips curved into that sharp, devastating smile. "Then let me show you." For a heartbeat, she thought he might kiss her. But instead, he stepped back, leaving her breathless and trembling. "Think carefully, Maya. Because once you're mine, there's no going back." Maya couldn't sleep. Damien's words haunted her. "Years ago, when I had nothing, you looked at me. You saw me. And you don't even remember." She turned restlessly in bed, watching Liam's peaceful face. Her son was her anchor, her reason for every sacrifice. She couldn't afford distractions, especially not dangerous ones. But she couldn't deny it anymore. Damien Cross wasn't just chasing her. He knew her. And that terrified her more than anything. The next morning, Maya found Damien waiting outside the hotel. "Why are you here?" she demanded, her voice low so the others wouldn't hear. "Because you keep avoiding me," he replied smoothly. "I have work." "Not anymore," he cut in. "You're not scrubbing floors while I'm standing here." Her eyes widened. "You can't just. I own this place, Maya." His voice was firm, controlled, but his eyes burned. "And I won't watch you break yourself to survive." Anger and shame rushed through her, but before she could speak, Damien stepped closer, lowering his voice. "You don't remember me. But I remember you." That evening, Damien brought her to his penthouse. Maya hesitated at the door, every instinct warning her to turn back. But something in his eyes, something raw, kept her rooted. Inside, he poured a glass of whiskey, but didn't touch it. Instead, he stood at the window, staring at the skyline. "Years ago," he began quietly, "I was nothing. A boy on the streets. No money. No name worth anything. People walked past me like I didn't exist." Maya frowned, listening. "But one day," he continued, turning toward her, "I stole bread from a store. I was hungry, desperate. And the clerk caught me. Everyone laughed. Everyone turned away. Except for one person." Her heart raced. "You," he said, his voice breaking slightly. "You didn't even know me. You pressed a few dollars into my hand and told the man, 'He's just hungry. Please let him go.'" Maya's lips parted. She tried to search her memory, tried to see his face in her past. But all she could recall were countless days of helping strangers when she could, even if it left her with less. "I don't remember," she whispered. His jaw tightened. "But I do. I remember the kindness in your eyes. I swore that day, if I ever rose from the dirt, I would find you again." Silence filled the room, heavy and fragile. Maya's hands trembled. That was, years ago. It meant nothing. Just a moment. "To you," Damien said sharply. "But not to me." That moment changed everything. It reminded me I wasn't invisible. It gave me something to fight for. Maya's chest ached. His intensity was overwhelming, terrifying and magnetic at once. "You've built an empire, Damien," she whispered. "You don't need me now." He stepped closer, his voice low, dangerous. "You're wrong. You're the only thing I've ever needed." Her breath caught as his hand brushed her cheek. "This obsession," she murmured, her eyes stinging with unshed tears. "It's not healthy." "Maybe not," he admitted. "But it's real." For days after that night, Maya wrestled with her emotions. Damien's confession had shaken her. How could she push him away when his obsession came from gratitude, from a wound she had unknowingly healed? And yet, obsession wasn't love. But each time he appeared, at Liam's school with donations, outside her apartment with groceries, at the hotel with those piercing eyes, her defenses cracked. She hated herself for it, but part of her longed to believe him. Longed to be the woman who could heal his shadows. And when he finally kissed her, soft, desperate, almost broken, she didn't stop him. The first sign came as a note slipped under Maya's door. It was plain, no signature, just 6 words that chilled her to the bone. "Stay away from Damien Cross. Or else." Her hand shook as she read it, her stomach twisting with dread. When Damien saw the note later that evening, his reaction was instant. His jaw tightened, his eyes darkened, and his fist crushed the paper into nothing. "Who sent this?" she whispered. "Enemies," Damien said flatly. "People who think they can use you to get to me." Maya's pulse raced. "Then I should stay away." His hand caught her wrist, firm but trembling. "No. You don't run from me, Maya. Not now. Not ever." Days later, Maya noticed men in suits outside her apartment. They weren't neighbors. They weren't strangers either. They were Damien's. She stormed into his office that afternoon, slamming the door behind her. "You put men outside my home?" He leaned back in his chair, unbothered. "Protection. It's control," she shot back. His eyes narrowed. "Would you rather Liam be unsafe?" Her anger faltered at her son's name. Damien stood, moving around the desk, closing the space between them. "You don't understand, Maya," he said quietly, his voice low and urgent. "They will come after you. Because they know you're mine." Her breath caught. "I'm not yours." But the way his hand brushed her cheek, the way her heart thundered, she feared her words were already a lie. The threats grew bolder. A brick through her window. Anonymous phone calls. Liam's school reported a black car parked outside. Maya's fear grew daily, but Damien's obsession only deepened. "You're moving in with me," he declared one night, his tone leaving no room for refusal. "I can't uproot Liam's life." "You can, and you will. My penthouse is secure. No one touches you there." She clenched her fists. "This isn't protection anymore. You're chaining me, Damien." His eyes softened, just for a heartbeat. "Maybe. But I'd rather chain you to me than bury you without me." For all his power, Damien was not invincible. One evening, Maya found him in his study, tie loosened, drink untouched. His head was in his hands, the weight of his empire heavy on his shoulders. "You can't save me from everything," she whispered from the doorway. His eyes lifted, raw and unguarded. "But I'll die trying." Her chest ached. This was the man beneath the armor, the boy she had once saved without knowing. And now, he was willing to burn the world to keep her safe. She stepped closer, placing her hand over his. His fingers closed around hers like a man holding on to the only lifeline he had left. The night of the attack came without warning. Maya and Liam were leaving the penthouse lobby when masked men appeared, blocking the doors. Panic spread through the crowd, but before fear could crush her, Damien was there. Fury blazed in his eyes as his security rushed forward. Shouts filled the air. Glass shattered. Damien pulled Maya and Liam into his arms, his voice harsh in her ear. I told you. They'll stop at nothing. And neither will I. The chaos ended in minutes, but the message was clear: Maya's life would never be the same. Later that night, as rain lashed against the penthouse windows, Damien finally broke. I can't lose you, he whispered, his forehead pressed against hers. Not after I've found you again. Her tears spilled freely. Damien. I don't know if this is love, or if you're just afraid of losing control. He kissed her then, desperate and consuming, as if the world outside didn't exist. And for that moment, neither of them cared if it was love or obsession. All they knew was that they couldn't let go. Maya couldn't sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw shadows moving, threats lingering. When she finally crept into the living room, Damien was there, sitting in the dark, staring out over the city. You're scaring me, she whispered. He turned, eyes haunted. Good. Fear keeps you alive. She shook her head. No, Damien. Fear is killing me. For the first time, he flinched. The next morning, she packed a bag for Liam. We're leaving, she told Damien. His jaw tightened, his voice rough. Over my dead body. She stepped closer, tears burning. Then hear me, Damien. If you keep me like this, trapped, chained, I'll never love you. You'll lose me anyway. The silence that followed was unbearable. Finally, his shoulders sagged. For the first time, Damien Cross, the untouchable billionaire, looked broken. That night, the final attack came. Masked men stormed Damien's penthouse. Glass shattered, alarms blared. Damien fought like a man possessed, protecting Maya and Liam with everything he had. When the dust settled, the men were dragged away by police. Maya, trembling, whispered, Why me? Why are they after me? Damien's voice was raw. Because of me. Because 10 years ago, you saved my life without knowing it. And ever since, I've been saving yours, even if you hate me for it. Her heart cracked. The puzzle finally made sense. Maya looked at him through her tears. You don't need chains to keep me, Damien. You just need to trust me. He swallowed hard, his hands trembling as if letting her go would destroy him. But then, slowly, he stepped back. Then stay, he whispered. Not because I forced you. But because you want to. Her chest heaved. The city lights glowed behind him, rain streaking down the glass. And for the first time, she saw not the billionaire, not the obsession, but the man who had always loved her. The next morning, Maya woke in Damien's arms. Liam was safe, the threats were gone, and the city was quiet again. She looked at him, peaceful in sleep, and finally understood her heart. He wasn't just her captor. He wasn't just her protector. He was both her storm and her shelter. When Damien stirred awake, she whispered, I'm not leaving. His arms tightened around her, his voice rough with relief. Then I'll never let you go. Weeks later, Maya stood on the balcony of Damien's penthouse, the wind lifting her hair as the city pulsed beneath her. Damien came behind her, wrapping his arms around her waist. You're free now, he murmured. She turned, smiling softly. Free to choose. And I choose you. He kissed her then, not with desperation, but with a love that finally learned how to breathe. For the first time, Maya felt safe. For the first time, Damien's obsession had become something else. Not chains. But love. The end. Thank you for listening to The Billionaire's Secret Obsession, Chained by Desire. Red heart if you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to Billionaire's Desire for more unforgettable romance audiobooks. Your support helps me create more stories filled with love, passion, and suspense. Comment below and let me know, what was your favorite moment between Damien and Maya? Speech balloon. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep desiring, and keep falling in love through stories.